Howdy. Roy Rogers just eats your heart out. I'm changing my image. Huh? You like it? Huh? This is called Kermit Dress Up. No, Western wear is in, and my co-host Pat Mitchell is finding out today that it's been in for some time. She's at Nudie's. And that's where this came from, by the way, $2,000. That's the name of the store and probably the most famous designer of Western wear in the country. And judging from what he's done for me, I wonder if he's gotten Pat to change her image. We'll see. Pat?
You know, Gary, Western wear is very big these days. Lawyers, accountants, politicians, and even television reporters are wearing cowboy hats, belts, and boots. So Western wear stores are springing up all over this country. But it's not surprising that here in California, Western wear's always been big. I mean, real cowboys used to rustle cattle just a few blocks from here. This is North Hollywood, where Nudie's Western wear has been dressing real cowboys and real Hollywood stars for over a quarter of a century. The owner of this store is a real rhinestone cowboy who got started in the garment business selling G-strings to showgirls in New York. In 1940, Nudie and his wife moved to Hollywood and manufactured their own Western designs. Now Nudie has retired his needle in favor of a mandolin. He still supervises a staff of 12 who make everything from boots to saddles. Who were some of your first customers?
Tex Williams, he was my first one. Roy Rogers came next, you know. And you know, it's a strange thing about these people, you know, when you show people like Roy Rogers, when they find out where you go to get your clothes, they all follow, just like a bunch of cattle, you know. And boy, after they found out that I was making this stuff, they all came there.
What did they ask you for back in the early days?
Well, let's take Elvis Presley, for an example. I made a lot of jumpsuits for him, but the first suit that I made for him was a gold lame suit. He paid me $10,000 for it. And you know, this reminds me, I was on a talk show one time, some time ago, and the man, I don't want to mention names, you know, he asked me, I understand you made a gold suit for Elvis Presley. How much did you get for it? And I told him, I says, $10,000. Why so much? He said, well, they're paying me for my labor. That's why it's so much. How much profit did you make? And I says, $9,500. I got a laugh out of that. See, even you're laughing too.
Did you really make that kind of profit?
I think so.
What one performer do you think is most responsible for having made Western wear so popular?
Me.
Okay.
I'm crazy in this respect, but I create these things, you know. I told you, honey, if Tom Mix walked up to see what we're wearing today, he'd go back into his grave, you know. It's just creations, you know. It's show business. It's big, you know. It's very big.
But who wore the stuff the best? In other words,
Roy Rogers and Gene Autry. They used to make movies with fancy stuff. But I came along, and the same thing that Roy wore, I made more flashy. I started putting rhinestones on his fringe, you know.
I understand that you made the clothes that Robert Redford wore in The Electric Horseman. How difficult was it to make that suit that lit up?
It wasn't hard, you know. We did accordingly, you know. They designed it. They gave me the sketches, you know, to work with. It wasn't my design, my idea, you know, it's theirs. Only one suit that he wore in Las Vegas, I designed it for him without their knowing how.
You don't do very much of it yourself anymore, do you?
I don't think I'm capable. I hate to admit it, but, you know, I don't think I'd be able to sit down and work on a sewing machine like I used to. I haven't got the power. I haven't got the. It's shaky, you know. But you know, when you get to hit that 78 mark, you think about it, what you can do.
I can't help but notice, Nudie, that your boots don't match.
No, they don't. It goes back when I was 11 years of age, you know. In Brooklyn, I used to run 2 blocks in the snow to school with rags around my feet. We didn't have any money to buy shoes or anything, you know. And get in school and take the rags off, lay them on a steamer, dry them up. And when you're ready to go home, you wrap your feet again with dry rags and run home, you know. I did that. Miss Cook, bless her soul, she's dead and I know it. And She came in one day with a pair of boots. She says, "Here, Sonny, I found these in the trash. They don't match. They're two different sizes, and they don't match, but it's a pair. It's keep your feet warm." And I put those boots on. I feel like $1 million. Can you imagine getting in a pair of boots or shoes when you never had a pair?
So you still wear unmatched boots?
Still do.
Well, I think they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, Nudie, would any self-respecting cowboy wear one of those?
Well, of course they would, yes.
Yeah?
The only thing that some of the cowboys can't afford to wear them, so the entertainer cowboy has to wear it, you know. But they would wear them if they could afford.
Now, these Roy Rogers and Robert Tailor boots, do they buy them and then give them back to you?
He just gave me a pair to put for show, you know.
Well, these look like he really wore them.
He sure did, didn't he?
My, these are worn-out boots.
Yeah.
These boots, you made these for Cher, right?
She wears boots. She loves them.
Oh, yeah. How much does she pay for these, Nudie?
I think these are $850. I'm pretty sure that's what they are.
I guess I'll have to leave them for her after all.
Yeah. See what I mean?
Yeah, and it's like you're constantly looking for new designs to put on the boots.
That's what you have to do, you know.
Well, Nudie, you know, I don't have the kind of wardrobe demands that those entertainers do, and I certainly don't have their money to pay for it. But I would like to get something kind of special, and quite frankly, I'm tired of the Western thing. You got any ideas?
A lot of them. First of all, let me go through your pocket, see how much money you got.
Very little.
Then we have to do a little idea, you know.
Okay. Ta-da!
Ta-da, well, that's great. That's terrific now.
What do you think? You think I'm starting a new trend?
I think you're bringing a trend, all right. This is terrific. You know.
Really?
You know, this reminds me, the Indian clothes is pretty popular today.
Yeah?
As a matter of fact, when I was a little boy, we used to play Indian and cowboys, you know.
Yeah.
Now the Indians are coming back, you see, Indian clothes in it.
Yeah.
And they're doing quite a bit of it.
Well, how much would this little squaw dress cost me?
About 1,800.
Oh, boy, that's enough to send Urban Squaw on warpath. But I tell you what, Gary, if you're feeling generous, I'll wear this. You get out your headdress, and we'll have a little powwow.
I don't know, I kind of feel like one of those Century 21 kids, you know, with the big coat. In our case, I wonder, Pat, I guess I grew up to be a cowboy, and obviously you grew up to be an Indian, and I thank you for that. And we'll see you back here as soon as you can get here. And I'd like to thank Nudie. He is an artist. He's one of a kind. Coming up next, we'll discover what it's like to be a doctor's wife. Thank you, Nudie.